Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at Six Strings Nine Lives. Finally back for a CD and vinyl update. I bet it's been at least 9 or 10 weeks since my last one. Haven't stopped buying things, just kind of slowed down a little bit, being a little bit more picky and choosy with my spending. And honestly, it hasn't been a crazy year for new releases. I just did a video a week ago or so covering off what I've already bought for new releases, which hasn't been, like I said, it hasn't been crazy. Even reissues, I think maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7, but I do have quite a few reissues coming. I know there's a couple Armored Saint coming out, Sacred Reich, and a couple other ones. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. And a few new releases that I've pre-ordered. So I got to kind of clear the slate right now, show you what I have here, maybe a couple of surprises in this batch. My usual, I think probably about 11 items or so. We're going to start off with one item. We'll call this the 0.5 or the half a item. Anyways, this one's going back and it's actually a replacement is on its way. This is just something I wanted to pick up because I love Iron Maiden stuff. I love Bruce Dickinson stuff, but this is a new CD single for my favorite track on the Mandrake Project, which is called Resurrection Men. But if you can see right there, there is basically it's a knife cut right through the cover. This is a CD single, which will tell you what's on the back, but you just don't get many CD singles out anymore. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to grab that because I already have the 7-inch for Afterglow of Ragnarok to go with the album. So here's the back cover. So we got Resurrection Men, the focus of this CD single. Then you got 2 other tracks. You got Afterglow of Ragnarok live in San Paulo and Abduction live in San Paulo. So there's his touring band, Bruce's touring band right there. BMG, yeah, pretty cool. Like don't see many CD singles anymore. So I thought I'm going to grab that before it disappears. Stuff like these CD singles and 7 inches, they really hold their value and they disappear quite fast. So, all right, what are we going to go with next? Let's go with a discography I've been really slowly chipping away at. I only had, what did I have? 2, maybe 6 albums from this band, and I have never went back to pick up their first 2 albums. I'm not sure. Well, I think I kind of know why. By their 3rd album was right in the groove that I wanted to start with. But the band I'm talking about is Blind Guardian. Now, finally picked up their first 2 albums. This is Battalions of Fear from 1988, their debut. I've heard it before. Well, since then, I've heard it quite a bit now because I did I listened to this because this is one of those versions that includes the remix and the original. So I did side-by-side comparisons to see which was better, and it was a clear-cut winner with the remasters. They're the same as the ones I picked up for, albums like Tales from the Twilight World, Somewhere Far Beyond, all those ones, same kind of Nuclear Blast. I think these are they're spread over 2018 and 2019 reissues. Great little booklet inside. I'm not complete on my Blind Guardian discography. I still am missing 3 of their later albums. Not their newest one. That one is fantastic anyways. But great booklet in here, full of lyrics. And yeah, definitely. So the original looks like the cover, and then the remaster, they kind of updated the artwork for that. But the remaster sounds really good. Their debut, it's all right. I still need to put some more time into this album. But when I got to this one, I was like, yes, this is really a good album. This is their 2nd album, Follow the Blind. So I think now I have at least their first 7 or 8 albums. I think 7. Yeah, 7 or 8, whatever. But yeah, Follow the Blind. This is starting to lean into the stuff that we started to hear on their 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th albums, right up till Nightfall and Middle Earth, which another great album too. So yeah, same thing, same deal. CD1 remix, which really sounds way brighter, way crisper, not compressed. It just sounds louder without, being brick walled or anything like that. And then the original here. So it's kind of cool to put them literally, play them back to back, side by side at the same volume, and you can see for yourself, hear for yourself. But yeah, same kind of setup as that. You got a nice booklet inside and the original CD here, and then you have the remixed here. So chipping away at my Blind Guardian collection. What are we going to go with next? Let's go with, I had mentioned probably quite a few videos ago that Peaceville Records was going to reissue some Hellripper stuff. And they already started off with Coagulating Darkness, which is Hellripper's debut album. And then here was the next one. So this is Complete and Total Fucking Mayhem, which is Hellripper's all the splits and the original EP all on one album. So it's not technically a studio album, but it's as a collection of, there's probably 12, 13 tracks on here. So it's basically like a full studio album, really. And this is the beginnings of Hellripper. Fantastic. My favorite tracks on here are Nuclear Hell and Hell's Rock and Roll. Yeah, I love those tracks. Check those out too. So a little bit different than the, here is the reissue from Reaper Metal Productions. So this is more closer. This is the color of the original logo. So not sure why they went with the red. And same when Reaper Metal Productions did the vinyl too. And next up they did the EP that came after Coagulating, and this came out I think 2019. This is a 5-song EP, which includes one cover song of Iron Heads, which is a Running Wild cover, I believe. So this is Black Arts and Alchemy. This is must-have Hellripper for sure. I don't have this one open because I do have a Reaper Metal production copy, so I'm going to keep this one sealed for now anyways, because I'm such a big fan of Hellripper. I'm going to collect pretty much anything that comes out, but I will show you the vinyl version that I do have open for this. But there's the Peaceville logo, which is James McBain. That's his current label, is Peaceville. And now they've pretty much, they have all the, anything on CD has been reissued by Peaceville now. And just waiting to reissue Coagulating and Complete and Total on Peaceville, which I'm sure will come. There's recent reissues on Diabolic Might Records, which are really good too. But, excuse me, I imagine they have to let the licensing run out before Peaceville can grab those two. But be patient. They'll be coming along fine, or soon. And here is the vinyl version of Black Arts and Alchemy. There is a version that I do have from Reaper Metal Productions. The difference here is that one or the Reaper one is one-sided. It does not include the cover of Iron Heads, and the other side is etched. Where this one is actually all 5 tracks are on the album, 3 on one side, 2 on the other. So the sound-wise, it is much better. And this cover is kind of like a matte, very well done. Like, this artwork is just top-notch. Let me show you what this includes. Peaceville always puts in these little flyers and stuff. Like, there's Warlock's Grim and Withered Hags from last year from Hellripper. My favorite album of the year. But and then a bunch of other stuff on the order form. So this one came on a, here's the hype sticker too if you are that curious and you want to pause it. Black Arts and Alchemy, orange vinyl limited, a storm of trailblazing blackened thrash from Scotland's mighty Hellripper. includes bonus track Iron Heads. So yeah, definitely awesome black and thrash. One of my very favorite up and coming artists, only been around for now, you know, a few years really. But here's the vinyl orange, and 3 tracks on one side and 2 on the other. Center rings are the same. But yeah, definitely, I know a few people have commented, you know, thanks for letting us know about these Hell Ripper reissues. You're more than welcome. Thank you for the recommendations, which please continue. Throw them down in the comments. Always appreciate that. Let's go with something much heavier. I've shown this band in a, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 updates ago. A band that I said it before, and you know, I'm not ashamed to say it, but back in the day, pretty much thought they were kind of a joke band. I just didn't get the whole thing with some of this death metal. Like I said before, I haven't been the biggest death metal fan around, but there are some bands that are in the death metal category that I've absolutely latched onto. Mostly older bands, which I do like that slower, simpler death metal like Obituary and this band. But I picked up a couple of recent reissues from Metal Blade, the only label this band has ever known, which probably gave that away right away. This is Cannibal Corpse, Evisceration Plague. This one is from 2009. So this is 2009, 11th overall studio album. And yeah, I guess I have almost just misunderstood this band. About a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I watched their, I forget what it's called, Centuries of Torment or Suffering, something like that. It's like basically a 3-part documentary video on their first 20 years of the band, their travels, their touring, their, you know, living on the road, and how good of musicians these guys really are. And believe me, I have a newfound respect and love for this band, especially the George Corpse Grinder era of the band. I think that's top notch so far. Not done exploring them, that's for sure. I think I only own about 6 of their albums. But anyways, Metal Blade put these out just a couple of weeks ago. And this one comes with a download code, which I do not need. So I'm going to hold that up. First come, first serve. If you can focus and grab that, go ahead. And then we got a nice insert with that typical Cannibal Corpse artwork, which back in the day I thought, oh, what the hell is this? You know, I'm not a big horror fan to begin with, but I get the whole thing. And like I said, these guys are serious musicians, man. Like Alex Webster and Paul Mazurkowitz, they're, I mean, top notch. Pat O'Brien on guitars, who's currently not in the band, but Rob Barrett and of course George. But here is the insert for this, for Evisceration, and here's all the lyrics, which if you really want to get down to it, that's the fun part, is reading along with these lyrics to this music. I don't know, it just makes for a fun listen. You know, don't take this shit too seriously either. It's supposed to be fun. So this one is called, where's that hype sticker? This is called Scalded Flesh vinyl. So if you're ever wondering what Scalded Flesh is supposed to look like, here it is. So yeah, pretty cool. There's the track listing, A side, B side, some standout tracks. I'll read them off of here because the back of that vinyl is a tough read as far as yeah, that font, it's all bloody and stuff like that. But Priest of Sodom, awesome track. Scalding Hail, and you know, some of these track names are off the charts, but I think it's pretty cool. The title track, one of my favorites, Evisceration Plague itself. Yeah, skewered from ear to eye. There's another nifty track. But yeah, so I picked that one up, and this one, next one is their 12th studio album from 2012 called Torture. This is the reissue on, this one is called Bloody Concrete vinyl. So again, if you're wondering what that's supposed to look like, I'm going to show you in a second. And there is the band photo. So this is probably one of, I've really sunk in some time into trying to learn more about these guys. This is one of my favorite lineups with Pat O'Brien and Rob Barrett on guitars together. You know, it's too bad that kind of fell apart with Pat and whatever happened with him. I don't know the whole story, but I just think some of these albums from 2006 kill all the way to 2017's Red Before Black or Red Before Black. Yes, that's what it's called, 2017, which I don't own that one yet, but I've heard plenty. I've listened to it plenty so far. That's kind of one of my favorite lineups of this band, but again, so much more to explore from these guys, and I will continue to do that. Let's find, there we go. So anybody needing this one too, Metal Blade usually puts in one of these codes, so if you want to listen to Cannibal Corpse Torture, there you go. Grab that one. And insert for that one, this is basically like the album cover on one side, which there is a censored version of this, and originally I think this is how it came with the insert in here, and the regular cover was censored. Kind of all this back part was blocked out, and then just a little hole here with this guy peeking out. And here is the other side with all the lyrics. Again, just a fun listen. Some great tracks on this one too. This one I can actually read. There's quite a few tracks on here, but it's not a super long album. But Scourge of Iron. Yeah, go check that one out. Awesome. What else? Followed Home, Then Killed. Yeah, tough title, but excellent song. It just there's some groove in their music too, which I really enjoy. It gets you just wanting to bang your head. Yeah, definitely glad I gave these guys a little more, attention and maybe a little more respect, because they do deserve it. But here is what Bloody Concrete vinyl looks like. So far I've picked up, I do own their latest two albums, and I've picked up, this is now my fourth reissue. I also have Vile and Gallery of Suicide, but I need to get some albums like The Wretched Spawn and Kill. Kill is absolutely one of my favorites. I've probably listened to that about 20 times already. Really good album. But there's some Cannibal Corpse, which you might not have expected from me, but I'm there. I'm getting it. It only took me close to 56 years to get on board, but I got there. Next up, again, if you watch me for, more than 10 videos, I'm a huge Saxon fan. There's not, there's always things to add to your collection, but I don't have a massive DVD collection. I could show you that one day if you guys did want to me to show you all of what I do have, but these two I picked up because they're just, the presentation is just fantastic. And here is Saxon Warriors of the Road, the Saxon Chronicles Part 2. And this is a hardback book. So this is what is on here. DVD 1 is Warriors of the Road, the Saxon Chronicles Part 2, 98 minutes, 5 official video clips including on that one. DVD 2, Saxon Live at Wacken Open Air, Saxon Live at Download Festival 2012, and Bonus Live at Grass Pop Metal Meeting 2013. And then the third disc is the actual audio of it, which this opens up to about a 20-page booklet, just filled with info. I went through this whole thing a couple of times. I've listened to I've watched both. I've watched all the DVD content, and I've listened to the audio. It's well worth it if you're a big fan. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to add these to the collection before they're gone, because they do get quite scarce and pricey. And the second one I added, which is the third part, this is the Saxon Chronicles. Same deal, hardback. This is on UDR. So that would be their label. Excuse me. That would be the label they left. That was the label they were on before they jumped over to Silver Linings. But here's the contents. We got another Walkin' Open Air 2001, 97 minutes. There's the track listing. Disc 2 is Saxon on Tour. And then we have the videos. Bonus audio CD is Rock and Roll Gypsies Live. So is this maybe, yeah, I think this is part 3 of the series, or part 1. I know there's 3 parts of the series, so I might be wrong as if maybe this is part 1 or part 3, because Warriors of the Road is part 2, but correct me if I'm wrong and let me know if you have any of these parts or the part I'm missing. But again, same deal, just full of info, what was happening at the time, and just, again, a great presentation. There's disc 1, same as the other one, and then the other 2 discs. So you have 2 discs of DVD and 1 disc of CD audio, which I've listened to and watched both of those. Just, yeah, killer all the way through. And then wrapping up here, I got, how are we doing? We're good on time. Like I said, I haven't had an update in about 10 weeks. This one was on my pre-order list. 20th studio album from Canadian metal legends Anvil, which, you know, I know Anvil isn't for everyone. Like I said in my previous video, you know, they have, it's just a band that I don't care if they change. I just listen to them. They're a fun listen. If they came out with some crazy new shit, I'd be like, you know, what are you guys doing? Stick to what you know, type of thing. And like I said, also, you're not getting album of the year from these guys. You're just getting a fun, solid metal album, maybe some, you know, familiar sounding riffs, sure, some rhyming for rhyming sake lyrics, but you know, who gives a shit? Just have fun with it, listen to it. But here is the 20th studio album from Anvil called One and Only. Now, 20 studio albums, I don't know, this might be, I'm never going to say never with Anvil, but man, you got to think 20 studio albums, they basically don't stop touring, but I think they have enough to choose from that they could probably just ride out their career. I know that film from, what was it, like 10, 12 years ago, the story of Anvil really gave these guys a boost, and maybe they're still riding high on that. I don't know, maybe not riding high, but you know what I'm saying. So here is, of course, Lips, Rob, and Chris. This lineup has been together for quite a few albums now, probably, I would probably say 6 albums or so. But there is the back cover. First single was Feed Your Fantasy. I wasn't really, it didn't blow me away, but there's much better songs on here that I enjoy, especially the closing track, Blind Rage. My favorite track on this album is Truth is Dying, and a couple other good ones is Golden Diamonds and World of Fools, another cool track. But I always like Anvil, and yeah, they get shit on here and there, and you know what? If that makes you happy to shit on bands, I don't get the point, but that's okay. Shit away, I guess. But here, this one is on black vinyl, AFM Records. Glad to have it in the collection. I will continue to buy anything Anvil, as long as they put out stuff, for sure. And I think that's about it. Like I said, I do have quite a bit coming. I will probably take a little less time in between updates, but let me know what you've been picking up in the comments or getting. Do you have anything on pre-order? Any good new releases that I should be checking out that you haven't heard me talk about? I always appreciate those recommendations. But yeah, that's it for today. Until next time, stay heavy.